Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be finishing off this deck. If you haven't seen the last couple of videos, make sure that you go check those out because you see how we repaired this deck, brought it back to life, painted it, and today we're going to be finishing it off. So let's get started. Before I got started on the deck skirting, I really needed to get all of this furniture off of the grass, and I was really wanting to see how the rug and the furniture looked with the new paint color. So I'm laying out this rug. This is from the Studio McGee line from Target. I'll link it down below. But I'm laying out this rug and I'm just going to put the furniture on. If you notice that the cushions are a different color from before, if you even remember that further back, then all I did was just take off the covers and there was a beige color underneath the gray, and I think that that goes a lot better with the rug and with the color of the deck. Okay, I want to work on this skirting now so we can keep animals and whatever else from underneath the deck. So I think I'm going to use fence boards. I need to remove some of the older, like that 2x4 is all warped. But yeah, I need to remove some of that older stuff, but I want to use the deck. Fence boards. I thought about doing a horizontal board, but the ground like kind of slopes some, and I want the boards to go all the way to the ground. So I think I have a plan. So it's been raining and I haven't been able to work on the deck, which has not been good, but it's gonna make this job easier. So I would need to put 2x4 boards going from that 4x4 to that 4x4. But if you can see from this angle, maybe the mud sticks out further than that. So I'm just gonna take a shovel really fast and kind of dig down right here to back this mud up so we can have our fence boards sit nice and flush. Okay, now for the fun part, it is time to start building. I'm starting off with these 2x4s. I've cut them down to size that I needed for the 4x4 to the next 4x4. So I'm making sure that I'm using pressure treated wood, which is made to be outside, but it's not made to have ground contact. So I'm making sure that it's not touching the ground. It's going to be off the ground a little bit. And I am just securing those to the 4x4s with some exterior screws to make sure that those don't rust. Now that I had the 2x4 supports done, it was time to start adding the fence boards. And again, these are pressure treated, so they're made for exterior use. And it would have been nice had the ground been completely like the same distance from the top of the deck all the way through. But of course it wasn't, which is why I'm doing the fence boards in the first place. So I had to measure them kind of individually and then make sure that they were almost touching the ground and pay attention to the ground slope. And I'm using a fence board as a spacer between each one because I want there to be airflow underneath the deck. I just don't want there to be animals under there. I'm using my compressor and my nail gun to nail these into the 2x4s, and I'm using about 4 nails for each board. And if something happens and you don't get it completely flush to the 2x4, you can just take a hammer like I just did and hit it until it's flush, and that will make sure that it won't come out. I found it easiest to cut these fence boards 2 at a time because the slope of the ground was not that dramatic. So I would cut 2 at a length and then I would cut 2 more slightly longer so I could have that gradual slope that would follow the ground. If you're thinking about doing this project to your deck, I need to offer you some advice because looking back, I want to say to myself, go ahead and paint those 2x4s and also the sides of the fence boards because later you're seriously going to regret that you didn't. Because trying to get in between the boards with the little paintbrush was just tedious and took far longer than I wanted it to. So that's something that I wish I would have done differently. Okay, for this side of the deck, the slope of the yard was a bit more dramatic, a little bit crazier. So I decided to just use one 2x4 on the bottom because I don't know if you could see there's a little lip underneath the side of the deck that I was able to nail into for the top. And then I could just have the one 2x4 on the bottom. So the fence boards are starting off a lot smaller here and they're going to gradually get a lot bigger once we get to the upper level of the deck. So this one was a little bit more of a challenge. So for this upper level, we don't have that lip on the edge of the deck that I was using before. So I just added in a leftover deck board because it's not quite as thick as a 2x4, and that gave us the extra support. This tool is called a combination square. I use it all the time, but I don't know that I've talked about it, but it helps me to get like exactly 90-degree angles, and it's adjustable. I use it all the time. So I had a tricky cut, and then I just used my my combination square to cut that out, and then my jigsaw, which was giving me problems here, but we got there in the end. I used my jigsaw to cut that out, and then I'm just going to put that into place, and it fit like a glove. Okay, the skirting is all done on the sides, but for the back here, I'm going to put the lattice back on just to save some money in lumber. That way it'll still block everything, but no one ever even comes back here. We won't see it, and we already have it. So yeah, that'll save us some money on this project, just to put that back on. The reconstruction phase of the deck is officially over, and now we need to get the skirting all painted like the top so it'll all match, and then we can get to the fun part, decorating. Okay, I did all of the paintbrush work like in between the fence boards off camera because it was boring and tedious, but I'm so happy with how that came out. I think it looks so good. And now we have another issue to solve, which is all of the pool stuff. I want to kind of organize that and hide it where it's not just laying out on the deck all the time. Okay, the poles are done. You can't see them. As for this stuff over here, I grabbed these 2 buckets. I'm gonna drill some holes in the bottom for drainage and then organize that stuff into that. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this deck project to be over. It is all done and organized, and I'm just adding a few last minute decorations. And then now let's see the before and afters, the best part. That's it for today's video. I'm not gonna lie, I am so happy that I am done working on this deck. It was a lot of work, but it was totally worth it, and I'm really excited to spend a lot of time out here this summer. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!